And welcome to our first ever podcast. How's it going, Samson?
Pretty good, Alex. Just hanging out here. Excited
I'm
to get
just,
it started.
I'm
See
just,
what we come up with.
yeah, me too. I'm hanging out and trying my best to make sure that we aren't going to fall off completely. You want to go ahead and introduce us?
Yeah. This is the basement. Brought to you by Samson and Alex. Um,
Okay.
what?
I mean, yeah. It was a really low, yeah, it's the lowest voice I've ever had in a long time. Dropped puberty in the middle of this, so I
Yeah.
apologize.
If you couldn't tell, this is our first time recording, so might be have some awkward pauses, but we'll get through it one day.
Awkward pauses or impressive pauses? We'll find out in the next episode of The Basement. Thank you for watching. Just kidding. All right. So let's go ahead and let's just catch up on life. So Samson, how's life going?
Life is going up in here in LaPorte, Indiana.
Laporte.
There's not a lot going on, and I'll tell you, LaPorte is pretty much the most boring town that I've lived in. I've only lived in two towns, but the other one was Kokomo. So,
Well, that is a surprising statement. Most people call Kokomo the worst city they've ever stepped in when it comes to fun, but I guess Laporte's worse.
right,
Yeah.
there's a lot to do. About half an hour away. Obviously, we're close to Chicago, but not a lot to do here. So, anyways, I went up to Chicago this weekend, visited Saul, my brother.
Right on.
Just did a little shopping, trying to find some clothes. Next weekend, going down to Arkansas with Kelly. We're getting our engagement pictures done, so
Hello.
trying to just find some good clothes, not look like a hobo.
Well, part of the fun is looking like a hobo when you're not supposed to be a hobo. You know what's kind of funny when you talk about engagement photos? When Sammy and I got engaged, I told her we were just going to take pictures. And so I did the engagement photos before I actually engaged with her, so I didn't have to do engagement photos. So it was a win-win situation for
Smart
me,
play.
at least. I know. I feel straight up like Tiger Woods when I did that, except, not post crazy Swedish excursion
Right,
thing.
right. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's all right. I mean, that's about all that's going on. The Y is closed this week, so it's gonna be a slow week for me. No gym. Gonna just have to hang out.
The number one hangout spot in LaPorte, Indiana has now finally closed for a week. Now, has the crime rate increased or has it decreased?
It's not. It's a little early to say, but the signs are pointing towards kind of a purge type scenario. Anarchy is gonna break out soon. There was a Actually, I went for a run today, and there was a bike race going on, the Tour de Laporte.
Wow, was that like a 5 minute bike ride?
I don't know. I ran 3 miles of it, but everyone else was kept going, so I don't really know. I mean, I wasn't a part of it. I just happened to be running on that path.
I was gonna say you chose to be part of the tour of Laporte on your feet, which is a very silly thing to do, and I don't recommend you do it ever again.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't. I mean, it was a nice run around the lake, and I crossed the finish line, so I felt like a winner at the end of it.
Would everyone clapped for you, or was it just a lonely finish line?
I feel like the race probably started a couple hours before because there was just a couple stragglers rolling across the finish line.
Oh,
Uh,
that's sad. That is real sad.
wasn't much of a crowd,
Okay, I can understand that then.
but yeah, that's about all that's going on with me. How about you?
Well, I've finally started my new job like last week. I am now a leasing coordinator, whatever that means, for an apartment complex that's going to be opening up in West Lafayette. It's exciting. It's a big ass apartment complex. Then the next year after that one opens up, something bigger is going to be opening up. So I'll help you the big kid on the block for about 5 minutes. It seems like.
Yeah, so you're still commuting?
Oh yeah, an hour every day. Listen to podcasts every day. So it's just kind of how it goes for me. I like it and I don't like it at the same time.
I mean, if you ever run out of things to listen to, just listen to our podcast.
Hmm. Well, that went to crap. 1 second. All right, so we're trying a new format now. We've been having some issues with the other VoIP that we were using to talk to each other. So yeah, it's bull crap. But we got this. So let's start from the top again when it comes to fake news, our segment. I don't think you guys ever heard about this segment yet because we keep on having technical difficulties. So Samson, can you explain it?
Yeah. All right. So this is fake news. We're gonna be pulling up a couple different articles, and we'll read off the title and try to guess whether it's a real story or fake news.
All right, simple. Go ahead and start.
All right. So my second article is Muslims see Christmas tree being set up and attack.
I can't believe this whatsoever, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to guess what it's about. This is a story that was flubbed. Um, it's kind of like a preview to a really bad Bollywood movie that we all want to see, but we shouldn't because it's kind of like a delisted movie. But it's part of the plot, and
I
it's
feel like it
related to the
has some
plot.
potential.
It has some potential. I mean, I'll watch it, but the real question is it actually a Bollywood film?
The answer is no.
Okay, what is it?
Apparently, several versions of this story have been circulated in the recent years, but they have all been fake stories, and this has never happened.
Okay. That's real fake news. That's some real fake news right there.
Yes, it is.
I would never have guessed that. So okay. I'm sorry for everyone who was wondering what the first one is, but I'm not going to say it because that's no fun for Sam. So my second article is Berlin schools installs anti-prostitute fence.
Hmm. This one's just ridiculous enough that I feel like it could be a true story, and it's got like a decent amount of detail in the title. I'm gonna go with fake news though.
You're gonna go with fake news, okay? Tell me what it's about then.
Well, I'm assuming we're gonna go with like a high school, Berlin,
Okay.
Germany. Um, they have a real prostitute problem. I'm gonna guess that it's not in the school. It's not the actual students being prostitutes. So I'm assuming it's probably something to do with like late night um, prostitute hookup pickups going on like in the school parking lot or something that they don't really want those happening. So they had to put up a fence for.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I got you a zinger. Both of these were real news, actually. The first one I told you before everyone actually heard the recording was real news, and this one was also real news. But if you would have changed your answer, you would have been spot on. That's literally what has happened.
Dang that.
So, yeah, like the prostitutes have been pushed kind of out of their normal scene and into the school grounds.
Okay.
And the funny part is, it's not necessarily that they're prostituting they're mad at, it's that they're dirty. That's what they said here. The prostitutes eat, stand, drink, and litter, and it looks filthy in the late evening. What a great reason.
What a time to be in Germany.
What a time. They have a huge prostitute thing there. So, yeah, you hit it on the nose, but you're wrong. So, good job.
I had the story nailed, and I didn't think it was real. I
Yeah.
should have known.
So, I'll do some zingers like that. I won't do it all the time, but I'll have some zingers like that.
That's all right. That's all right. It was a good one.
Okay, so what's next? What's next?
Let's do some fake sponsorships. We being a new podcast, we don't have any actual sponsors yet, so
And that's right. But this fake sponsorship is actually sponsored by anti-prostitute spray by Johnson & Johnson. It famously smells like skunk, but in reality, it smells like roses from the fountain of youth. Get a little bit on your left, get a little bit on your right, and you got yourself an anti-prostitute spray that's 100%, 99.99% to be exact, guaranteed to get away any prostitutes that are unwanted. Buy now for $19.99 at your nearest Walmart.
I'm really worried about that 0.01% prostitutes.
Just imagine if there is a million prostitutes right around you, they would all be turned away except one, maybe two.
That's dangerous. If it doesn't get turned away, you wonder what the quality of the prostitute is.
And that's actually what I'm thinking too. What kind of prostitute would it be? Like a really good prostitute that's really good at their job, so they understand the situation between the anti-prostitute spray. So they're like, "All right, I'm coming in," or is it the opposite, where
They're
they're
so
brand
dirty.
new,
They're just barely considered to even be a prostitute.
right? And of course, this is the oldest profession. We're not trying to shoot down prostitutes. If that's your thing, go for it, man.
Yep. That seems like a valid career if that's what you're looking for.
Hey, I mean, I thought about it one time. Sometimes college gets hard, so something else needs to as well.
I know some of our first time listeners have considered.
Oh God, yeah, definitely. Now I think about it, I would gladly reference them to the anti-prostitute spray if they want to get the competition away.
Yep, that is that's a pretty good one, honestly. Considering that that's a real story, I feel like there needs to be some research by Johnson and Johnson on this stuff. They could definitely come up with something. I feel like.
Oh, and just so you know, it's not actually Johnson and Johnson, the company that we all know and love. This is actually made by Nick Johnson, and another Johnson that he just found on the street. Well, actually, Nick Johnson and his personal Johnson.
Oh, okay.
It's his spray.
Then I am very confident that it would work then.
Oh yeah, it's I think it was one of the best sprays you can get. You know what the secret is?
What?
Urine. All right, so the next portion. So the next portion here we're gonna do is Halo for Days. Samson, what is this all about?
Halo for days. This is just this throws back to the actual basement. The basement was I would have to say that probably 65 to 70%, would you say, of our time in the basement was playing Halo.
Right,
If you don't consider the time sleeping, I would say that maybe even more than that.
Oh, I don't even know if we count the sleeping, especially with you, Samson, because I still don't know what time you actually wake up. You are the ghost of the group. So.
I am the ghost. I'm never there in the morning.
Nope, never at all.
I can tell you even right now. I woke up at 6:30 this morning and I had nothing to do today.
Actually, I woke up at 6:30 this morning, not because I wanted to, but because I was wearing underwear that was extremely uncomfortable.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I literally woke up, went into my closet, changed my underwear, and went back to bed because it was that uncomfortable of underwear.
But you made it all the way to 6:30.
Yeah, it was horrible. I woke up at 2 in the morning. It's like, maybe I should switch it. And like, nah. Then I woke up at 6:30 and like, this is ridiculous. What person has to wake up in the middle of the night because of their stupid underwear? H&M, do me a favor. Make better underwear for the big-thighed man in your life.
Were these boxers or briefs? I gotta know.
They're supposed to be boxer briefs, but they're like
Okay.
the boxer briefs that you give to your boyfriend slash husband so that they look better. Sammy.
I was about to say, is this a really what happened here?
Actually, not really. Yes, no. She bought them because she thought I would like them. But I had really big thighs, so it's really hard to get underwear for me. It's the truth.
That's okay.
So
I
maybe,
have a similar problem. The big thighs, got
yeah.
those thunder thighs.
That's what. It's. I wonder how Andrew gets by with his very thin
I'm
thighs.
sure he is living in a world of comfortable underwear.
Oh, that's right. All right, let's see. What are you playing?
Yeah. What we were talking about? Video games. That was the point. That was the point of the story.
Whatever.
So, yeah, I guess for a while now, I got that Fire Emblem app that came out recently for,
Oh God, yeah, I love that app.
yep, I've been playing it a long time, and it dawned on me that I had an actual Fire Emblem game. So I was like, why don't I play that? Because then you get the full story, you get a lot more
Mhm.
strategy and stuff involved, and I have a lot of free time currently, so figured might as well grab the old Game Boy.
Yes, good.
Only problem was don't have a charger, so thank you to Amazon, a little 2-day shipping, and got the charger, and I've been playing, going pretty well so far. Starting to promote some characters, getting some good characters now.
Good. Not a sponsor, Amazon, but if you want to, give us a heads up.
Yeah.
Now, I remember my memory of Fire Emblem. I actually got it with Game Boy Advance, and I can tell I had some bad memories with that game. I love it to death, but I lost one of my favorite characters in that game. And this game has permadeath in it, and that's the first time I've ever had a video game that has permadeath in it, and I flipped out because it was the girl that she had a Pegasus and she had a staff, and I can't think of her name, and it was because it was the first Fire Emblem.
Was this Sacred
And
Stones?
no, this was like the first Fire Emblem, not the first because that one's on NES, but the first one on Game Boy Advance. Actually, was that Sacred Stones?
Yeah, 'cause I'm playing Sacred Stones right now, which is a Game Boy Advance game.
It's the same game then.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I
thought you
think I
had the
know who you're
DS
talking
version of
about.
it.
That character, not very strong. I
No.
tend to not use her in most battles, so I understand how you would have lost her.
Yeah, I don't know why I liked it so much. Maybe the whole Pegasus thing was alluded to my love for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it died, and I didn't know there was permadeath in the game.
Permanent deaths. That was the number one thing that I was looking for in playing an actual Fire Emblem game because that just adds a whole different level of difficulty to the strategy involved.
I know when people always talk about what's that one game called? Crap, that Dead Souls or Dark Souls, and
Hmm.
how that's a hard game. It's like with that at least you respawn.
Right.
You know,
This is just one arrow and you're done anytime.
it's cruel to the children that play it because this is the first time I've ever learned about death. Mommy, why is it my character coming back to life? It's like she's in a better place now. You let her die. This is a unique character and it's dead.
It's a lot harder on a child than losing a Tamagotchi, I would think.
Oh God, believe me, that's a whole different story. When we were, remember that when all the teachers got pissed at us because the Tamagotchi crisis, as I would call it.
I've never had a Tamagotchi, but I remember the crisis.
You never had one?
No, I never had the responsibility.
I had one, and I lasted, I think, 1 week. 1 week was my Tamagotchi baby.
I feel like I remember when you had yours.
I know everyone had one.
It was
Man,
just, yeah.
it was such a weird time. How fads spread. Nowadays, it's fidget spinners, and I don't know which one's worse. Tamagotchis made noise, but fidget spinners, they hurt.
Kids these days, they don't know Tamagotchis or Furbies.
No, 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 no. But Furbies give me nightmares, so I'm kind of glad that
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of
not.
disappeared.
I'm not into those either. So,
They had that weird problem where they would turn on in the middle of the night, and
that
I
was
wasn't down
just
for it.
I couldn't handle that.
So I've been playing a couple games this week and a couple weeks now. The new Wolfenstein, the new Wolfenstein's coming out a couple months from now. I was thinking about getting it, and so I had to continue playing Wolfenstein Old Blood, or not Old Blood, but Wolfenstein New Blood. That's it, and it's a freaking awesome game. But something about Nazis in the future is weirdly, current. So I think I had to play it just to get the feels out again. It's a
Yeah.
good game. Has a great story for a game that's based off of one of the first person shooters ever. If I think it is actually the first person shooter ever.
Give me a little background. What is the story there for Wolfenstein?
Okay, so I'm not the best at remembering this story just because I first played it 2 years ago and I just started replaying it again because I was halfway through and I forgot to beat it.
Hmm.
Common problem for me. And so like there's a portion of the world where they are actually the war is at a weird point and they're trying to get this new guy named Deathhead who has made these new pieces of technology or something like that. I'm not sure. And so the main character, Blankowski or something like that, he gets practically killed or knocked out for many, many years. And by the time he wakes up, he finds that the world has become Nazi-ridden, except the United States of America hasn't really been touched yet, or it has, but not as much as
I
it
was about to
needs to
say,
be.
just based on the name, it seems like it's kind of a German theme here.
Oh yeah, big time. And it's really hard for me to describe it in all honesty. So I definitely recommend you play it if you have a chance. Um, Especially if you're a big fan of alternative history, which I am. I think alternative history is really interesting, and
Yeah.
the possibilities of something else happening rather than something that actually happened is always cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out. I'm starting to save up. I'm gonna look into building a PC here, and that'll definitely change the gaming for me.
I have a graphics card that you can have if you want. It's not the most powerful graphics card. I mean, it was for the price, 7770, and I'll gladly give it to you. You just have to make sure that your build can accept that graphics card.
All right, yeah. I mean, I know nothing about building computers yet, so we'll have to see. But
Yeah,
Salman's been trying to get me to build one for a long time, so we'll
it's
see how
fun.
that goes.
It's 100% one of the most satisfying thing I did with my own money.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of things with my own money as an adult. Like buy electricity, cable, you
Those are
name it.
not satisfying things at all. I
No,
agree.
because you don't really see the return in full glory. I mean, yeah, electricity, lights on.
I mean, yeah, technically electricity keeps us alive, but it doesn't feel as good.
Technicalities. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
I also was playing Mercenaries 2 just to catch up. So I actually was a big fan of Mercenaries on the Xbox.
Hmm.
So when Mercenaries 2 was announced and came out, I was so excited, but unfortunately, it's kind of one of those games that were disappointing because they did pretty much everything that Mercenaries 1 did, but took away some of the best parts, like feeling like a character that still could be killed in an instant, or this Mercenaries had this cool gloomy feel to it, where you didn't necessarily you felt like you're at war. And Mercenaries 2 is a little bit too vibrant, a little bit too happy. Um, I don't know. I just played Mercenaries 2 just to remember how much I liked it, but not
Yeah.
wasn't impressed with it.
Hmm.
Just like eating a sandwich from Subway. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just that I'm disappointed in it. Jared Fogle.
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm just kind of. It's the final month. There's a month left until the Super NES Classic comes out.
Oh yeah.
I'm just preparing my body now.
I need to buy a Switch. I mean, I'm not joking. I need to buy it. If I don't buy it soon, I will fall apart.
Yeah, I think that the Switch is a lot better than people expected. I think, and it looks really good. I want to get one.
It's because the thing that everyone really wanted was another portable console, but then they didn't know it until they had it. They're like, "Oh, we're so tired of the DS. Oh, we're so tired of 3DS. I want something new and maybe
Well,
a
yeah,
strong
they kind of
system."
came to a halt there. They had the DS, the DS XL, the
Mhm.
3DS, the 2DS, and it got out of hand.
Right. I mean, sometimes things get out of hand, and
Yeah.
all you have to do is just suck it up. I really want to play like Sonic Mania, and I have to play Zelda.
But
I
yeah,
actually
obviously the reason anyone buys a Nintendo system, you got to play Zelda, new Mario Kart game,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and new Smash Bros. Which
It's
hasn't
like
come
the
out
new
yet,
Mario
right?
Kart game. It's the same one.
Oh, really? It's still Mario Kart 8?
Yeah, but for some additional maps and
New
okay.
characters.
Well, new Mario Kart's new Mario Kart.
But of course, the best thing about it is, remember when you had a DS and everyone else had a DS and you could play the same game and only one person had it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, minus the part that you actually have to own the game. But being in that little area of 4 or 5 people with Switches playing Mario Kart, but at full HD, absolutely blast. I feel like.
Yeah, I am heavily considering getting one. We'll see.
Okay, yeah, me too. I don't want to see if Samuel will let me, just because I bought a 4K TV.
Yeah.
It didn't cost me that much money, but I really wanted it so I could watch Studio Ghibli movies in full action, man. Because I have to watch My Neighbor Totoro one way or another. What's our last thing we're going to talk about, Samson?
Last thing we're going to talk about is what's for dinner today. It is currently dinner time. I'm ready to eat some dinner,
Me too.
and for me personally, I made dinner on Friday, and then I went up to see Saul. So I've just got leftovers today. I've got little Italian sausage. Put that on a bun.
Put that on a bun.
Put that on a bun.
Put it. That should be the new motto. Put it on the bun. That's it. You should start your own Italian sausage brand.
I'm going to start a Food Network TV show called "Put It on the Bun."
Put it on the
Bun.
bun.
All
And
kinds
all
of
it
food
is
that go
just
on a bun.
Foods and buns.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's top notch.
That's actually a pretty decent idea.
All right, write it down. No one takes it.
Trademark.
A sandwich
Trademark
show.
by
The
Guppies.
Basement Entertainment LLC.
A
I'll take the name
verbal
yours.
trademark.
Also,
What's dinner for dinner for you? For
Oh yeah.
everyone missed it, but I got to hear a little glimpse of what was going on for dinner, and it seemed like it was quite a show going on over there.
So today I got bored and I wanted to make something. I've been struggling with eating normal, like a normal human being. I've been real fat lately. I have ate more than I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
And that's a statement.
I mean, that's better than what I was. I was worried that you meant you were like starting to eat like a cow or something. You're just like grazing.
Oh, I will graze. If I had the chance to and had the ability to, I will graze as much grass as I could.
Well, it's probably better for you.
Yeah, true. Actually, I might lose weight.
I don't
I have
think
the
so.
stomachs to prove it. But yeah, I'm making chicken right now. Baking it, I start putting it in a cast iron pot, and I marinated it in apple cider vinegar, garlic, onion, seasoned salt,
Mm-hmm.
and what else did I put in it? Chicken, of course. I put chicken in there, and then I let it set in the oven for like 30-45 minutes on 300 degrees.
Yeah,
As well as rice on the side. So
sounds good.
I also made my own homemade pickles, and I want to see how well they come out. Pickled peppers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that.
Yep, that's pretty normal meal for me too. A lot of times I do the chicken and rice. One of the marinades I do a lot is the chicken with some soy sauce, honey, salt and pepper, garlic powder, and some chili flakes.
That is 100% the same thing I do. So I'm glad we have the same thing in mind.
That's great. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's a
Love to add
staple
little bit
right
more
there.
honey.
That's got to be like at least once or twice a week.
I want to do that more, but the biggest problem is I'll run out of chicken.
Mm,
And
yeah.
I mean, I have a big bag of chicken, but Sammy actually has a Sam's Club membership that she got, and I think we're going to be using that a lot more.
That you got to get the big. That's where I get the big bag. I just go with my parents right now. So whenever they go to Sam's Club, I'll just pick up a big bag of chicken.
You're in the Maryville area, though. You're pretty close. You go to Costco.
I could go to Costco. I need a Costco. They have a Costco membership too, though. So
Yeah, that's great. I love Costco.
Right.
They have good booze.
Costco, Costco booze. You're right. That is a good one.
Yeah, I like their booze.
Economy at its finest.
All right. Well, we should save more stuff to talk about till the next time on the basement. Hopefully, we won't have as much technical difficulties. Even so, technical difficulties are the way of life. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and tell everyone to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to put I'll put a link wherever I have the link at, and then that's where most of our podcasts will go. We'll have to see how that works out as a format. I know for sure we'll have on SoundCloud, and I'll make sure that everyone who is listening to it knows where that's at as well.
Yep. You guys all know us. You know what's going on. At least our listeners right now. Shoot us some things you want us to talk about. What we should talk about some more. Whatever.
Yeah, please.
If you want to be a special guest, let us know. We'll bring you in.
Yeah, well, since our other format wasn't working very well, we definitely can fit you in somehow. I'll have to figure that out. So, all right, and I guess with that, thanks a lot, and thanks for listening, and give us a heads up.
All right.
Later.
See you guys.